We gotta set our own mark. Everything big now.
Everything big now.
Big.
Mm.
Like your friend, Sosa.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you something about that greaseball cocksucker.
Ooh, greaseball cocksucker.
That's what he is. You turn back on him.
I need a suit like that.
Mm-hmm.
You don't trust him after that.
You got a real thing for Tony Montana, don't you? Louie?
Omar was a stupid.
Maybe.
Sosa said so. You bought that line. Maybe I made a mistake sending you down there. Maybe you and Sosa know something I don't know.
Pretty big possibility. A lot of things I know you don't know, motherfucker.
You tell me like what?
Call me a liar. Right? Is that what you call me?
Let's just say things will stay the way they are for now.
Yeah, and stay the way they are for now.
You stole your deal with Sosa.
Stole it. Okay, boss.
I don't think Frank's gonna come out on the right side of this one. Oh shit! There it is, Sam. Sam Cedar. He this is a video about the Jerry Seinfeld. He's been one of these biggest whiners and complainers about comedy not being allowed anymore. You know, everybody's too PC. You can't be funny anymore. Blah blah blah. And so Julia Louis-Dreyfus, the lady that played Elaine from Seinfeld, she had a statement about it, and then they did a video about it. Then I watched the video.
And you still feel like,
Now we watch the
hey, I
video.
really owe something to that other person because a lot of my success was bundled up in this thing that we did together. But boy, is that guy turned into a real creep, you might be thinking. I mean, you might be thinking that if you're Julia Louis-Dreyfus and you've heard...
That's Julia Louis-Dreyfus, right? You don't pronounce the S.
I don't know. Julia Louis.
It's come out of the mouth
yeah, I think you're
of
right.
Jerry Seinfeld over the past couple
Oh, he's also a voice on Bob's Burgers.
Who?
and
I don't know. It might be maybe the health
Jerry
department guy.
Seinfeld went on the New Yorker podcast and
Yeah,
whined
yeah, I could see that.
that he
Yeah.
used to have great sitcoms like Sanford and Son.
Yeah.
And all
He's done this show for a long time. And
Has
he
he?
does, his best stuff is people that call in and debate him about like being a libertarian.
Mm-hmm.
It's really funny to listen to him. Tear him
Yeah.
apart. It's pretty funny. I don't know how anybody could watch him debate a libertarian and still be a
Can't
libertarian.
have those anymore.
This comes from
Now,
somebody that used to consider themselves a
I know
libertarian.
almost all the sitcoms he named were
You know,
made by
then you get a little bit
leader
older
who was
and stuff
one of
doesn't
the
make
most
sense
famous
anymore.
Yeah.
Hollywood lefties there is, in terms of like the modern era, at least.
Anyway, we talk about.
At least like a liberal.
He's trying to
left.
set up what he's going to talk about.
I mean, those shows.
He's got a lot of time to fill up on the show. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
They mocked Archie Bunker. They showed
Oh yeah, so Jerry Seinfeld, he was like, you can't make like All in the Family anymore, or a lot of these shows. And he's making the point that those shows were pretty liberal, because they were. It's a good point.
the Jeffersons moving on up. I
Yeah,
mean,
Jeffersons.
these were all
At the
woke
time, that was a pretty
shows,
liberal show.
frankly. By the standards of that era. But putting that aside, the implication was that you can't make any funny shows anymore.
There we go.
Which is Jerry Seinfeld's way of saying, like, I can't make a funny show, but it's not my fault. It's everybody else's fault.
Yep, and that's all of these guys. This Can't be funny anymore. Who is it? Who's that guy? Man, what is his name? The guy that likes to punch Bobby Lee?
The guy that likes to punch Bobby Lee.
He's the hanger-on guy. We did one video about him. This tall, skinny guy.
Tall,
He
skinny.
was the amazing racist.
Oh.
Shafir?
Ari
Shafir?
Shafir.
Yeah, he's one of those. He's like, let me see, I'm going to set out to offend people. And then when he accomplishes offending people, it's like, why is nobody laughing? It's like, I don't know. Because maybe not everybody's going to be happy about being offended. You set out to offend people. Some people are not going to laugh at it.
Yeah.
That's part of why the people that are laughing at it are laughing at it. Because it's not that your joke's so funny, they're laughing at the other people getting offended.
Right.
It's like, you know, nothing wrong with it, but just don't be a fucking baby when not everybody thinks you're a genius.
Then he went on to prove everybody that was the case when he came out with his Pop-Tarts movie that, like, honestly, maybe one of the biggest busts in Netflix history. Or
Seinfeld Unleashed.
So, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, they did an interview with her in the New York Times Magazine.
Okay, I'm going to pause this and we're going to read the whole thing. I'm just kidding. We're not doing
You
that.
were
thank
asked,
God.
you know, talking about beef, it does make me wonder about your political satire and how hard it is nowadays to be funny about politics.
You don't do it every day.
Your former co-star, Jerry Seinfeld, recently made news for talking about political correctness in comedy. I'm wondering, as a famous comedian yourself, what you think about that. Julia Louis-Dreyfus is not a petty person, and
So that was the question the interview asked her.
Mm-hmm.
He's not going to just tell us what she said. He's going to have to also introduce her quote.
it seems to me, but she also, I think, is not too happy about letting that bullshit just lie out there. So she writes, if you look back on comedy and drama both, let's say 30 years ago, and really, I think she's getting her timing off, because he was talking about 50 years ago. Let's be clear. The shows he was citing were 50 years old. Let's pretend
Let's go, Sam.
80s and maybe early 80s. Through the lens of today, you might find bits and pieces that don't age well. And I can tell you, the movies that I grew up
There we
on,
go.
comedy movies that I grew up on, and I will show Saul any movie.
Saul is his son, I believe.
Go in Paris a couple of times, and we
Don't
felt
call.
comfortable about that. But I will show Saul just about any movie. But the comedies that I grew up on in the 80s in particular, are horrific. I mean, they're all like date rapey
Yeah,
and
Porky's.
I mean unbelievable. But also a lot of like even like as late as like the early aughts, a lot of homophobia, a lot of like weird
So he's doing exactly what Jerry Seinfeld's talking about. Like, I agree to everything that said these people are whining, but then at the same time, he's whining. Fucking showing your son his fucking comedies. I agree. Revenge of the Nerds. You remember that one?
Well, yeah, the comedies were raunchy back then.
Yeah.
That's what I was just
They're
thinking.
raunchy.
They were
That's not,
raunchy.
you know, I don't think anybody back then thought that was the way to be either.
Yeah.
You know? It's just like, he's just proving Jerry Seinfeld right.
I feel like
But not really.
2015 or 2016, even just an insane amount of antagonism toward fat people and homeless people.
You better not be talking about dirty work, you son of a bitch. The homeless people in dirty work were awesome.
Yes, they were.
He said, if I give you guys $1, you run in there and cause a bunch of mayhem? They're like, listen, we're not those kind of homeless people. We're not crazy. We're more like sad homeless people that just had there's like, how about $2? Hard cut. And they're like tearing the place apart. Sorry,
That's funny.
that's funny.
super cringy.
Doesn't mean you can't be sympathetic to actual real homeless people.
Right.
But it's fun. Shut the fuck up.
There's some of these movies that I forget what they were about, and I show them to Saul. Like when you watch Ted, now I know the language is not great.
I'm complaining about Ted. Is Ted really that fucking bad?
I haven't seen it.
I mean, it's just raunchy, like they say raunchy shit in that, but is it like homophobic or racist or anything like that? Really? I don't think so.
This is not funny. It's sort of gross, and it's this is from a different era, and it's just not appropriate.
Ted is from a different era. God damn, don't watch Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
The funny thing about that is they always make up an excuse for Sunny. They always say, oh, well, they're the butt of the joke. Yeah, well, they were the butt of the joke in Seinfeld as well, but still, people still figure out a way to be like, well, actually, it's still offensive. I did watch a video where a guy was trying to explain how it was still like offensive because I'm like, they're idiots. They're stupid people. Like, you laugh at the people on Seinfeld like you do Sunny.
Yeah.
But, if you give people enough time and they got enough words to write down, they can fucking spin it to be anything, can't they?
That was the Mickey Rooney character in Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Hilarious. Mickey Rooney and Breakfast at Tiffany's? It's like the funniest thing ever, isn't it? Because you're laughing at Mickey Rooney, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's not the way they laughed at it back then. But now you look at it, you're like, I can't believe how racist this is. It's fucking hilarious. It's wrong. Who you laugh at?
Yeah.
And, it probably offends some people. Guess what? They don't need to watch it.
Or was
LD
it like-
yawning. LD yawning over here, Sam.
Mr. Movie
Sam!
I think
Wrap it up, Sam! Look, go!
that was
Do something, motherfucker. Why won't he entertain people on my show? Let's go, Sam.
Existed in, like, the John Hughes
Missy,
movie,
it's
like,
okay.
16 Candles. There's the
She come out here.
stuffed dog.
Missy's ready to bite somebody.
Yeah, it's a sitcom rape.
Oh, no, she just laid down over here.
Oh yeah.
We're watching the dog now, Sam. Sam, we're watching the dog.
Let's say 30 years ago.
We're not talking to Sam anymore. Goodbye, Sam. Anyway, I just thought that was funny that he started out by being like, it's not like that. But then he's like, yes, it is totally like that. There are us out here that want to be comedy police. He wants to be a comedy police.
Yeah.
He does. Don't you hate guys like that? Because while you're trying to be like, nah, that's not really that big an issue.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a guy like Sam Cedar walking around trying to make it a real issue.
Right.
Like, shut the fuck up. Just don't watch the comedy if you don't think it's funny.
Yeah.
It's simple. And I watch these guys. I watch fucking these guys that try to be offensive on purpose,
Mm-hmm.
Every once in a while, it's like broken clock is right twice a day, right? So
Right.
sometimes that might be kind of funny. But if their only comedy is just like that shit, they're not going to go far for long.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to eventually fizzle out. And you see it with all the Joe Rogan people.
Yeah.
Because a lot of them were resting on that. And they got more mileage out of people like Sam Cedar. They would have got as big. But once people can start playing the victim, oh no, they won't let me be funny. I saw a clip the other day. It was, there's a great YouTube series. And it's a guy who explains comedy. And he just watches stand-up and he frees it and then explain to you why the joke was funny. And of course, the whole thing is just one big joke,
Yeah.
making fun of how they're not funny. And he was doing Tony Hinchcliffe. And Tony Hinchcliffe, when people didn't laugh at his joke, he started going after somebody in the audience who just wasn't laughing.
Oh God.
Well, what the fuck?
Kudos to anyone that can sit down and actually watch that, man. I cannot.
I'm telling you this, Tony, I agree. Nobody should come up on stage and punch a comedian. Unless they're minding their own fucking business having dinner and you're just not funny. And you start picking on somebody in the theater. Came to see something funny and you're not funny, they're not laughing. And you start picking at them in front of everybody.
Mm-hmm.
If that person then wants to beat your brains in, I don't blame them.
Yeah.
Leave them alone. It's one thing if they're heckling you, that's different. But shut your skinny ass up. Because if I take my girl out to see a comedian and they're not funny, we're just not gonna laugh. Nobody's gonna start a fucking riot, try to yell at you, throw tomatoes. But I'm not gonna laugh if it ain't funny, dude.
Yeah.
You're gonna try to peer pressure the people into laughing at your shitty jokes. Anyway, so like I said before, this video is about how Tony Hinchcliffe is a shitty comedian. And if he's ever in arm's reach of me, I'm gonna pop his head like a grape.
Good. Good.
You like the way this one went? It went there, and it went here, and then over here, and then right here, and over there. And there's way too much listening to Sam Cedar. Never again. Never again are we gonna listen to Sam Cedar. He's so boring. Jesus Christ, he's a comedian too. He does stand up.
Yikes.
Where are we at on time?
Close to 17 minutes.
God damn, yes. Good night, people. It's been a long, arduous day trying to fucking get views. You know? Leave a negative comment so I can make fun of you. Do something, motherfucker. I thought it had all this drama in these last 2 weeks, but all of it's so boring. Really.
Yeah.
Like, none of it's interesting. I don't give a shit about any of it. The Dr. Disrespect stuff's not interesting. The I Am Alex stuff is like, who cares? Just it's gonna happen to all of them, you know?
Yeah.
All these commentary guys. They're all gonna get caught up in it eventually.
Mm-hmm.
Because, as our golden god says, Anisha, they got no jobs, they couldn't function in society. If it wasn't for YouTube, they wouldn't have anything worthwhile. They'd be car salesmen maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Probably, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of them have a lot of social anxiety, That's why they get so weird when they have money.
Mm-hmm.
They can't function, Anyway, we gotta do some grilling.
Yeah,
Ready to go do some grilling, LD?
I am.
Alright, we love you guys. All 2 of you. 3 on the Alex video. I did like the title though.
I was 4 this morning, I think.
The title was He Was Alex. You know why? Because everybody's bored of that shit.
Yeah.
If it was something a little spicier, people would care, but it's just not that interesting. Come on!